Hello, dear colleagues at Free. So today is Explorer Talks again, and today we have the pleasure of welcoming Lovisa Madås, and she's going to tell us a little bit more about Agtech and Foodtech and why we really should care about this. So welcome, Lovisa.
Hello, three, especially you three guys over there. Okay, I'm super excited to be here and standing here talking about food and Agtech in the middle of your lunch. I mean, what an excellent time for this talk. You're tech people, you're eating food, and you're sitting down and listening. So for 20 minutes, I'm going to talk about this, Foodtech and Agtech, and what is it and why should we even care? All right, a couple of words about me. This is obviously me, and my name is Lovisa Madås, and I'm the co-founder of AGFO. And I would say I have four major interests: food, agriculture, technology, future, and also ramen, the Japanese noodle soup. But today we're not going to talk about so much about ramen, but the other interests. All right, so I'm co-founder of this brand. It's called AGFO. It's a media platform focusing on the transformation through the whole food system, from farm to table and beyond. So we're doing inspirational talks, and we are building knowledge, and we're doing that through media and in-depth knowledge, and also data and analysis. And some of our works are here. So we have Sweden's absolutely best newsletter about food. It's called AGFO Weekly. We do a lot of talks, and we also have our own talk series called AGFO Talk. And finally, we're part of Sweden's leading media house within agriculture and forestry, LRF Media. And out of the 11 brand, we are the youngest one, AGFO, and we've only been around for 1.5 years. Okay, so enough about us. Let's talk about this then. Food. It's actually one of the absolute largest industries on the planet. Agriculture alone employs more than 1 billion people worldwide. Huge numbers. And as you can see, it generates trillions of dollars each year. So, why care? Why care about this sector? I'm going to give you 4 reasons. There are many more, but I mean, I have 20 minutes, so let's focus on 4. First, and the absolute most crucial, we have big challenges ahead. Many of them are linked to the food system. We have a growing population. We have a demand for more food, and we need to produce food with less resources. We have a ridiculous amount of food waste at the moment, and we also are facing climate changes. All right, so big challenges. But at the same time, more and more people are willing to invest in this sector. So we see there are more startups getting funded in Agtech and Foodtech sector. And as you can see, last year, Agtech and Foodtech startup raised nearly $17 billion worldwide. And that's an increase at 43% from last year. So more and more money coming into this sector. I'm going to show you this one, the first unicorn within the Agtech industry. It's called Climate Corporation. And they were sold in 2013. So first unicorn Agtech company. All right, so more money. But at the same time, we need to increase our speed when it comes to innovation. More people are needed and more ideas. If we look at Sweden, we are pretty good at innovation. I think last year we ended up at 7th place on the ranking in Europe. But when it comes to food, we're not that good. We're only on 14th place. That's not good. So we have to step up. And one of the pioneers in Sweden, this is Fredrika Gullfoth. She is an algae farming pioneer. We need more of her in Sweden. And at the same time, there's a rapid technological development within this sector. Okay, so there's 4 reasons. So the word food tech, it's a little bit blurry word. I mean, what is that? Food and technology. All right, okay, we can say that it's a modern technology and data helps develop new food production, distribution, management, etc. But I would say that it's also about a new interest in food, on how you can take existing raw materials and create something new. That's not techy, but it's a new way of doing food. For instance, meet Berta. It's a Swedish startup, and she's making this one. It's a tempe made from sprouted and fermented Swedish split peas. That's a new one. And you probably heard about this one, lab-grown meat. How many of you heard about that? Yeah? So there are many companies worldwide in the laboratories now trying to make cell-based meat. There's no product on the market yet. There's a huge amount of investments going into this sector, and there's many questions around this sector as well. But cell-based meat, that's an example. And you can take this one from Finland, Solar Foods. What are they doing? They're trying to make edible proteins from air and electricity. That's pretty far out. And maybe this one is your new local food store in the future. It's a new way of producing food and also transport food. So what is Agtech then? Well, it's in the word. It's a combination of agriculture and technology. And just to be clear, agriculture has always been a very high-tech industry. So for example, how long have the milking robot been around? Give me a guess. 20 years is exactly right. Whoa, very good. But now we're stepping into a new era with sensors and IoT devices, etc. So for the agriculture industry, access to stable communication infrastructure is crucial. So we have sensors, cheap sensors, in the field, on the machines, and also on animals. So this is absolutely transforming the agriculture industry. I'm going to give you a couple of examples. You're going to meet some innovators and entrepreneurs. But first, you can divide Agtech into 2 parts. What's happening off-field and on-field. So off-field, you probably heard about vertical farming. When you have, like this one, this is Kimball Musk's farm in New York, in a closed environment, no soil, no sun is needed. And yes, Kimball Musk is the brother of Elon Musk. So that's one part of the Agtech sector. And of course, we have Swedish entrepreneurs. Here you can see a couple of them. But today I'm going to focus more on the on-field sector. And I'm going to start here. We're going to start here in England, Edgemond. So this is an Hectare. And what is special about those 10,000 square meters in Edgemond, England? Well, it's in the name. It's the fully automated cultivation. So not a human foot in the field, from seed to harvest. And yes, you can drink the result. It's a hands-free Hectare gin. And now maybe you're wondering, is this something that you find in Sweden? Yes, you can. If you go to Ultuna, just outside Uppsala, there's a test bed to see if we can fully automate cultivation also in Sweden. It's pretty cool. So automation can also be done in small scale. So if we move to our backyard, meet this pretty little robot. It's FarmBot. It takes care of your veggies all the way from seed to harvest. So it waters, take care of the weeds, etc., etc. And when it's time for harvest, what happens? You get a text message. Oh, come and pick me up. So that's FarmBot. Any similar in Sweden? Yep. You could go to Örebro University. They have a new robot there. It's called Lomas. So what happens when we scale this up? This is happening, precision farming. When you give the exact right amount of nutrition and water to the exact right crop in a field. And you can do that by gathering data from the field. You have sensors in the field, from satellites, and also from the tractors. So by doing that, the farmer can take better decisions, and it's also better for the environment. So precision farming. And of course, we have Swedish entrepreneurs in this sector as well. And it's not only in the field that we are using precision technique. Also in livestock farming, we are using advanced technological machinery to see how are the animals doing, how can we monetize their health so that they're having a more well-being. It's bad English, anyways, you see what I mean? Okay, I'm going to give you an example. My latest example is this one. It's a hen. What does this hen have? It has a fitness bracelet. So by having a fitness bracelet on the hen, the farmer can see how is the hen doing. Is there anything we should do with the hen to make it feel even better, etc. So tech to monetize the animals for their well-being. And there are other challenges out there. Example, we're using too much pesticides in farming. So let's meet a weed killing robot. This one, driven by solar energy. And it's using machine learning and AI to see which one is a plant and which one is a weed. So if it sees a plant, it will spray some nutrition. And if it sees a weed, it will kill it with a small amount of pesticides. So killing weeds with AI and machine learning. John Deere, one of the largest agriculture companies around, they actually bought this startup in 2017 for a staggering amount of money. But there are other ways of killing weeds. You can use electricity, for example. Rootway, a British startup, they're using electricity to kill the weeds instead of using pesticides. Let's have a look at Sasso and Case HI. They're also using electricity. So in the field, you can see, so there's going to be a little bit of fire over here. Yeah. Killing the weeds without any pesticides. Pretty cool. So killing weeds are one thing, but we have other challenges, such as the antibiotics. Because we have to reduce the use of antibiotics. I mean, antibiotics resistance is a global health problem. It's going to be bigger and bigger. So here we have a Swedish company called Moving Floors, and their innovation is actually doing that the animals are feeling better. They're not by using a moving floor. So the floor is moving, and it's also cleaning the indoor environment for the animals. So they're feeling better, and there's no use for antibiotics. We have the lowest usage of antibiotics when it comes to livestock farming in Sweden, but on a global level, it's a huge problem. And that's why Peg Söderberg, who's the CEO of Moving Floor, she says that by running Moving Floor, she can have a social impact on a global scale. Truly important. So Moving Floor is one robot, and there's going to be more. Plenty of more. You can see that the estimated global value of the robot market in agriculture is nearly $13 billion in a couple of years. So we're going to be used to seeing more and more self-driving tractors, for instance. We can look at this image in another way. Let's look at it this way instead. Because every farm is generating so much data. millions and trillions of data points on each farm. So what happens if we collect data points all the way from soil up to weather from a large amount of farmers, and we add a strong analyze on that, and then we share the data back to the farmer? We have a new business model, and we have Farmers Business Network. They're one of the companies changing the agriculture industry at the moment. So their business idea is that farmers share their data, and that by doing that, they actually transform the power back to the farmer. So we're going to see more and more of companies like this around. And I'm actually going to leave you with a quote from a Swedish Agtech startup called Hectare. And their mission is to change the grain market and make it more transparent in Sweden. So this is Joel Glemne. He's the co-founder of Hectare. He used to work at Google, etc., etc. And he says to use technology to give better food to more people is truly motivating. He's an AI and machine learning fantasist, and he sees that there's a huge amount of data that you can use, and the system you implement can have a great impact on the industry. So I would say that the fourth industrial revolution must not leave farming behind, not even the food system. So what can you do? You can join in. You can join our community. You can definitely visit a farmer, and you can dig into this industry. There are many challenges, and we need more people, and we need more energy. Okay, that was me. That was Lovisa.